Alright, welcome back. So in this video, we are going to see a new concept which is basically known as root parameters, right? And before I even explain what they are, I'll actually have to explain why you would even use them, right? And to do that, I'll go to Twitter. This is the best example that I could find, right? And on Twitter, we have this slash explore where we're getting a list of pages. Great, that's fine. But now if I press on this, notice this URL up here, right? This is twitter.com/i/events slash some weird number. This weird number must be like a unique ID for this, I'm guessing, right? So this must be a unique ID for this article, and so they've printed this out. Great. Next, if I go to this, I see this is still /i/events, and then another number which is not the same as that one, right? If we compare both these two, this will not be the same. And if we like try to do 3 here, let's see if something shows up. It does not show up, but like this number is different from this number, right? And everything else in the route is the same. So now this basically tells us that if we are like doing something similar, like these are both events, right? And they are kind of news. So they have a similar URL for them to visit, right? The only thing different is this long ID here. And this long ID itself is a plus. We all know how many articles there are on Twitter. So do you think they built like if there are a million articles, they built a million routes for that, and someone sitting back there all day making a new route for your post? Of course not, right? So that's where route parameters come in. So what you can basically do is you can make a route for /i/events, and then you can take this as a variable in your route, right? And then you can act upon it. I'll show you what I mean by that, right? So I'm in the Express app folder and I'll do ls. I have all these things. So I'll open my existing app.js which we had made in the intro, right? Great. So in this now, let's say I want to make a route which prints the animal that I'm actually visiting, right? So if I visit /tiger, I should get tiger printed out here, and if I get /lion, I should get lion printed out here, and so on, right? So how do I actually do that? So that can be done by making a list of all possible animals in the world and making separate routes for them, which is what you would do with the knowledge you have now. But the other thing that you could do is make a single route and use a route parameter. What a route parameter basically is that I'll show you. You can do app dot get slash, right? So now you need slash the animal name. So it will be animal name, right? However, this is like a normal route. This will work only if you visit like slash animal name, the exact word. If you write slash tiger, of course, Node does not know that tiger is an animal name, so that will not work. So what you can do is you can place a colon here, and what will this do? I'll show you that in as soon as I make this callback. Right. So inside that, now if I call anything, like if I put slash something, right? I put slash something, and that something is not found in the above routes. If it say hello, this route will get called, and the no two routes cannot be executed at the same time. So this route will get called. If I say slash goodbye, this route will get called. But if I say slash anything else, right, then this route will get called, right? And how you can simply access that is that this is the rec object, right? So let's just first console.log rec object, right? And just to get a response, I'll do res.send some random thing, right? And now I'll start my server using node.bond, right? And yeah, So now if I visit this weird URL, right? First thing, this gets printed out because we are sending this back, and we get rec printed to the console, right? So this is our rec. This is a big object, right? Yeah. So if you actually have a look at this, it has all the information pertaining to that specific request, right? And it has loads and loads and loads of things, right? So of course we do not need to know all of these, but the one that we're actually going to use is the rec.params, right? So I can print rec.params now, and now if my server refreshes and I refresh this page, then here rec.params is printed out, and you can see that's an array which has, that's an object which has an animal name of this weird thing that we had written up here, right? So basically, whatever we wrote up here came into this animal name, and this animal name became a variable, right? So that's what this colon was for, right? If you write colon this, then you're basically getting a variable in your route, right? And that's called a route parameter. So this is a parameter of the route, and you can call any route which does not correspond with these three, and that will correspond to this, right? And if it's slash something, right? And then you can do rec.params dot animal name, and we could like res dot send this, and we could remove the next line because you can have maximum one res dot send in one route, because of course you'll send only one response, right? So only one response should be going out at one time. Great. So now if I go here and I refresh, I see this weird thing is printed. And now if I do slash tiger, tiger is printed. I do slash apple, apple is printed. I do slash lion, lion is printed. I do slash cow, cow is printed. So you can see how when I'm doing slash something, which is not a part of these three routes, then this route is getting triggered, and I'm able to access that thing after the slash using this animal name, right? And you could have like currently if I go to slash cow, of course nothing happens because this route isn't set up yet, right? But what I could do is I could add after print after this, and now if I refresh, I get cow here, right? So they're basically playing around with the routes, and you will do this all the time, and this will be like what I've told you till now will be basically all that you ever need to know in your route, right? You will not be adding a lot more things to this. You can make all the basic routes using this, right? Yeah, so this was the route parameter thing that I was talking about, and like you could have multiple route parameters. So let's say you do this and you get another, and you could like append that rec dot params dot second param, right? So now if I do this, I get cow print because I'm doing slash cow slash print. I could do slash cow slash move and I get cow. Great. So this way you could have any number of parameters in your basic request. And if you put a colon and then you put a word, then basically that word becomes a variable for the thing that will be put in place of this hole in this URL, right? So this was the route parameter that I was talking about. And now if we go back to Twitter, we can see that they must have set up something like slash I slash events slash colon ID, right? So they are looking for an ID which is unique for a particular post, right? So what they're doing is when they're getting this ID, they must be searching this in their database, and then they must be printing this out, right? So that way they only had to make one route for all the events, and all the events they have are printed by that one single route, right? Great. So this was basically all about the route parameters that you needed to know. And in the next video, I'll make another exercise in which you will have to like do some weird stuff. It will not be really meaningful, but you will be sending different things for different routes. But essentially, that will be just one route, right? All right. So yeah, that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next.